Hello, and greetings to guide, I guess, to GTA 2. It's something I've been willing to do for a while, but all the approaches that I was taking were wrong. So essentially, I'm just gonna go through the main things, glitches, tricks that you use in this game, and just explain how you use them in the runs. GTA 2 is like a rather interesting, unexplored game by many people. There are a couple categories here. There's like, first of all, it's an IL game. There's any percent no E glitch. I'll explain what's that. All missions and hundo. So basically, all missions is like the equivalent of the best category ever. And currently, all the world records are by Molotov, but I'm like closing there, but doesn't matter. So what I'm gonna do here is explain most of the tricks so that when you will well, if you will want to learn any category, you will decide on what the hell you want to do. And I'll also mention that if you're like struggling with anything, you should probably, like, if you want to just learn any percent for, let's say, Pentology run or something, you like go here, any percent no E glitch. You find yeah, 2017 Crusader is probably good as well. I mean, anything that isn't like world record, like my round might also change. You go into like obsolete, and you watch something old. It generally gonna give you like the safe strats. Or like you just watch marathon runs. This game's been on many marathons, on GTA Marathon, on ESA, and it was run by me, by Crusader, by Wind, who's gonna be doing PlayStation this CSA, but it doesn't matter. So let's get into strats, I guess. So this is the game. This is main menu. Here at the bottom you can see the game version. There are two 9.6 versions. Essentially, let me show you. If you have menu like this with only two languages, that means you have 9.6F, which well, most likely, which is available on Rockstar free download website. So I'll leave the link in the description. If you get this version, most of the tricks will work. There will be a glitch that I'll mention later, but it's a very good and safe category to go with. So there are three districts in GTA 2. It is downtown, residential, industrial. You go from 1 to 3, and essentially any percent you start with 1, then go into 2, then finish 3. So you can switch game versions in the middle of full game run, and yeah. So let's start by the basic things. The hardest part about this game is literally learn the controls. GTA 2 is tank controls, so essentially you are walking always forward wherever you're facing with one button. Something you're probably gonna spend some time learning to do. So I would advise you to rebind camera controls to C. By default it's on Alt. It's not working on Alt for me right now because it's rebound. Because whenever you would actually need it, you'd be combining it with Tab, which is, well, either farting or car horn. And it is very not cool to use Alt Tab. Well, if you're not using Windows, or if there is a single system that I think there are, which don't use Alt Tab as like switch windows, yeah, sure, go for it. I recommend binding it to something like C. So in any percent categories, all you want to do is get enough money. It'd be 1 million for first district, 3 million for second district, and 5 million for last district. There are many ways of getting it. The fastest known way is known as E glitch, which I probably should showcase you. So let's just probably start with that. But there are a few things that I kind of forgot to mention here. There is some software that is kind of useful if you're learning the run. So one of those, I mean, all of that is available at the game Speedrun.com page. One of the things would be GTA2 Radar. It is basically the map that renders in real time and shows the location of you. Here's the arrow. All kill frenzies, all tokens. It's like very good if you're having trouble remembering where cop bribes are or how to drive from one area to another. It's very useful. It's not banned, you can perfectly use it. It works with version 9.6 and 11.44. I'll go on versions a bit later. And another thing is that you see in the bottom I have a counter. That's a frame counter or cycle counter. It is necessarily to have this thing on in order to have your runs verified. So that thing appears, you need to install the patch that is also in game resources, which will turn on the debug options, and you only need to toggle this one, show cycle. As you can see, the only one toggled is show cycle. This is basically a part of verification process. So if that number isn't there and isn't ticking, your run will be instantly not accepted on leaderboards. Also, if you're running short categories under like 10 minutes, which don't switch districts, this will be the main timing method. Essentially, you will divide this by 30.3, but that's already a completely other story. Now let's go to Expeditious Execution Glitch, or EE Glitch, which is the fastest way of earning money. And to show it off, I will actually go to 2nd District, because it's easier to show it off there. And then I will kind of show what you want to try doing in 1st District, and in the 3rd one it will be essentially the same, but you can also check world record. I mean, you will see inputs, but it doesn't really matter. So there are a few things about 2nd District which I also want to tell you. See, there is a shooting at the start, so there is such thing as like fast start. So you want to start walking and holding punch, and then this guy will shoot you. This is like a fast way to kill yourself and teleport to the bottom of a map. This is a very useful thing in this district, whatever you do the runs of like specifically this district. Because like if you have trouble with this, you just stay around and let this whole thing play out. Then when machine gun goes away, you go here and get run by car. Like these are fast starts for 2nd District. You either go and hold attack button, which would kill you, or you wait for a car, or in case of all missions, you would just go here and just die from electricity. Yeah, let's get to Expeditious Execution Glitch. So yeah, don't screw it up like I just did. Well, I mean, it's a short category. If he dies, just reset. So here you take a medicar. The fastest way of getting Expeditious Execution is in this district. You could also get what's called Super EE. I will kind of explain how it works. Won't show you though, because I'm not running these categories. So I almost got it there. Let's just fast forward to when I actually get the... Here we go. So, you probably could have seen what happened. I slightly pushed the pad into water, then when he started like bouncing, you just accelerate into him and keep going. Expeditious Execution gives you 100k for each kill you get. So you can keep going pretty much indefinitely on this guy. For the sake of silence, let me stop this for a second. So yeah, make sure this doesn't happen. This is a soft lock, which can occur. Freeze! Let me freeze the game so that it's not super loud. Essentially, if that happens, you have to restart the district. But how the whole trick works, you basically push a pad into water. It starts falling there, and then once you need to get the timing right, but it's like a very short run, so sometimes you can just wing it and pray to like RNG gods, and you just keep holding forward. To get what's called Super EE, you actually need to like make your first car run into the pad, then pick the other car, and the pad will be already indefinitely dying. I know it sounds extremely complicated. Just watch the world record run. I really it's really tough to get. I won't recommend you going for it unless you really want to. But essentially, you get bed stuck like this, as I just showed you, and then you take other car and just ram it into it. What it makes expeditious execution trigger insanely fast. So what just took us around 20-25 seconds to get like 3 million would probably take a couple seconds. In a run which is like 40 seconds long, it's pretty useful. But other than that, probably don't bother. Um, so yeah, in other districts you just arrive to certain spots and then you just push cops in the water. I'm gonna show you the spots for more precise lineups. You can again watch world records. I don't run these categories as they're pretty cancerous. You just reset until RNG smiles upon you. It can take long hours until you get everything your way, and then something still will go wrong. So let me show you where you go in downtown and then in industrial. So also notice in downtown, every single time you start a district, you get a Schmidt. Here you can take different car. You either take this one, this is Wellert, it's a good car. This one, it's a Shark, and there can be a B-type. It's like a white car in front. Like these are 3 cars that you're willing to take. Everything else you never really want to take. So for downtown EE glitch, you would, let me try to show it off. I mean, it probably won't work. You would want a cop to be aggroed on you as well. You would drive here, you'll go out of your car, you'll stand here, wait for a cops, bunch them, get into car, and like try to land on the cop. And essentially that will give you expeditious execution. It's a bit tricky to do, but it's a first district in a run. If you're trying to do full game, any percent attempt, it's worth just going for it, because that way you can complete district in like 1 minute and 10 seconds, and then you just grab the car here and you drive to the exit, which is right here pretty much. It's very close. The faster the car is, the better, of course. You just drive here. So it's like, it's really worth trying to get a good time here, even if it takes you many attempts. Like, even though I'm not running it, I would definitely recommend, if you're going for any percent time, like if you're that mad, do resets here. Otherwise, just follow very old strats if you just want to do like a big marathon run and you just need consistently finish this district. So in industrial, where you would be willing to go for EE glitch would be to a different spot, and there are taxi strats there. I'm like not entirely sure with this whole science. You generally want to get a taxi to get everything faster, but essentially where you will go here, it would be up here, and you can do the same punch strats as I showed you in downtown. It just takes time because you need 5 million to complete industrial. You would go here, you would get cops, you'd punch them, and then run into them. But to get industrial done fast, you need 2 cars, and you need Super E. But that is like already, if you're going for a really good time and you love resetting for whatever reason, you want a sub 5 GTA 2 completion. Otherwise, don't even bother. So that covers pretty much everything you should know about any percent. Let's talk about more important stuff. Let's talk about general glitches in the game. So this should give us, let me skip it, yeah, we'll get a pistol like that. So let's find a cop car. I'm gonna show you the quick cop car entrance. So essentially what you can do is whenever whoever is driving a car exits it, for example this cop, you can shoot. Oh, I got unlucky. You can basically shoot, and while they're exiting, you can jump in the car like this guy just did. And this is very useful. So example, if you want to get a cop car, you just shoot, wait for animation, just jump in. That way they have no chance of busting you. And you really want to be doing that very often. Cop car is essentially the fastest car you can get. So just if you have a bad car and you suppose like you will be driving through big sections, just do this. Just get some cop attention. Like wanted level 1 isn't that scary. Wanted level 2 is a bit annoying, but with cop car is manageable. And just steal a car. It's like super easy. They generally will be spawning left and right at around wanted level 2. It's very easy to get their attention if you just see them on the street. Just shoot the weapon and they will arrive next to you, and then you just get in the car. Jumping isn't like mandatory, but that's just my habit. So the other thing that's kind of important, there are staircases in GTA 2 that you cannot drive up. For that, let me go to the other district actually. I don't think, oh, maybe there are in this one. Let me see. So after driving around downtown for quite a bit, I figured out I just can't find a good enough example there, so I'm gonna show you one in residential because it's very close to the beginning of the district. So what I want to explain is the staircase, going up the staircases that you shouldn't be able to go. So there are slopes and staircases with property like this one. It will just keep pushing you off. You see I'm just holding forward and my car just can't get up. So you can get on top of these just by holding spacebar, or essentially braking. Because if I try going down it, I'll get thrown back. But if I press, like hold the spacebar, I will just fly up, well, slowly go up there if I have momentum in that direction. That is useful in a couple runs and very useful in all missions as you go up many staircases. Eventually you will just, like your muscle memory will just tell you which staircases you go up by holding spacebar and which you can just normally get up. But yeah, this is another thing that is very useful. So now let me showcase you the duping. Duping is a new thing. It currently isn't really useful in many runs. In fact, it's currently only used in one run, and that would be downtown 80% no EE glitch. So dupes in this game work fairly easy. Essentially, if you play GTA 2, there are phones which give you missions. See, there they are. Let me pause so that you can actually see the phones. And if you manage to start them in a very short time frame, you will dupe the second phone that you pick up. The effects of that, well, every single time there is a counter in a mission or like a timer, it will be down in half. That's the only benefit we know. It only will benefit one mission in second district, however, but that's not what it's all about. You will get 2 instances of mission running, and if you fail the mission, a weird thing will happen, which pretty much you will fail a mission once and then you will complete the mission. It won't go towards your progress counter, so you can't cheat your total game progression in all missions like this by starting what I'm gonna be starting now twice and then killing yourself. Like it won't count as a completed mission, even though you will complete it. But it will count as complete mission, but not in the counter. I hope it makes sense. And it will give you a multiplier. Multiplier is the number right here. This is the way you're getting money in any % no EE glitch runs. So essentially EE glitch gives you money fast because you just trigger expeditious execution all over again. In no EE glitch runs, you manually trigger expeditious execution by farming pedestrians. But expeditious execution only gives you 100k, so you would need 10 expeditious executions in downtown, 30 in residential, and 50 in industrial, which is, if you think of it, quite a lot. So there are just things that you do to increase your multiplier. In downtown and residential, in industrial, you complete missions. In residential, there are multiplier pickups, so you pick them up. So the lineup, which I'm gonna show you for downtown dupe, not pizza cake, the what's it's called, Radio Zaza dupe. It's very precise with Wellard. That's the card that I have right now. You can get it with other cars. The lineup will be a bit different. You can try figuring it out. I'll just recommend going for Wellard. It spawns very often. The lineup is pretty simple. And the car is just faster than Shark. And it's easier to fix your position if you messed up. So let me get in the car. So the lineup here, you want to be aligning on this white thing and on front of your car. So basically you want top of your car to be on the white thing. Like, I think that this is good. This looks good. So if now I exit the car and start walking forward, I will get Radio Zaza, but this phone will also trigger. Thus I will have 2 instances of Radio Zaza running. Let me show you. See? Got Radio Zaza, it's an upper phone. Now, if I destroy the car and kill myself, as you can see, I got job failed and job complete, which gives me multiplier too. Now what you want to do here, you want to just get any car. Essentially you want to get B-Type or Shark, because those are the best ones, but let's say you got Wellard, good enough. Let me show you how you farm Expeditious Execution in this district. So you arrive here, there is like a square of like dirt around here where you want to park your car. So you move your camera, you keep honk button, and you just start moving it, which will spawn pedestrians at the bottom. You want to go for like 6 honks or around that. Now there's a lot of beds. And just run over them and reposition yourself. Despawn the bodies by moving camera away. Now there are no bodies, and you repeat the procedure. Once you get to the wanted level 4, let me show you. The spawn rate of pets will go down a lot. See, I'm spawning pets here. There are barely any. So essentially getting Expeditious Execution Glitch when you have wanted level 4 isn't a thing that is like good to do. You really want to avoid doing something like that, so even if you spend your entire life honking moving your camera, there are still just a few pets there. Probably isn't even 20. It is proved to be possible to get Expeditious Execution on one level of that caliber, but you really don't want to be trying that. So what you do then, you like go here and you respray. So essentially once you get it 5 times, the downtown is over. Congratulations. So another useful trick, let's say you're being followed by a car, cop car, and you really need to like get out of a car, or like they're infiltrating your driving route trying to hit you. What do you want to do? You want to slow down, make them exit the car, and they start going. That will generally save you enough time to like do whatever you're about to start doing. For example, you want to line up and shoot a car, or something like that. So another mechanic in this game, auto alignment on the roads. As you can see, you can like drive randomly, but if I'm slightly tapping while on the rod, the game automatically puts me so that I'm going directly straight. If I'm going in the middle, see, I can go diagonally, so because here it doesn't do that, but as soon as I hit the rod, it automatically realigns me. Um, you don't want to be driving on the rods because there are cars. Avoiding them is hard. You just want to like learn to drive in the middle. When you're learning any kind of long run, just try to stick to a highway and drive in the middle. But keep in mind that you will auto align, so for example when you go in the sharp turn, pick your angles nicely, or else you would like something like I can't even really show you that. Something like that. For example, I wanted to go diagonally here, but game will realign it. I can't even fake this. It's like really annoying. Like yeah, here I tried like slowly changing my angle to go down, but the game just puts me back on my angle. It's really hard to showcase, but I had that happen a lot when I was just learning how to drive properly in this game. It's very important to know which cars are fast, which cars are slow. You'll probably get the gist of it because most of fast cars look fast and most of slow cars look slow. But if you're doing long runs, try to stick to a cop car, as cop car is really a really good fast car. The only problem with it is you cannot paint spray it. But that's hardly a problem most of the time. So let's talk about car memory. GTA 2, like many other GTAs, has the stack of how many cars it can keep in a memory. There are two types of cars: fixed spawns, like these cars that are found on specific places every single time you reset district or on parking lots. Game won't despawn them unless they've been destroyed. So for example, let us have two examples. That A-type, we're gonna park it here. Let me get this Romero. Actually my Willard would work for this. And this Willard will be here. Alright, so let's say we got busted. Let me get to that shark. Alright, whatever. Technically my Willard should still be in a place because there is a stack of 3 cars that you can use before game will dispose of the last one you used. Unless there are some specific circumstances like mission area where a game does clean up. So if I arrive here, both of my cars should be there, right? So let me try drive somewhere away and switch my car 2 more times. This was my first car that I switched to. Let me switch to one more. Let's say this Willard. I'm just trying to go as far as I can. So this is my 4th car since my Shark. If I come back there, Shark should despawn. Or whatever the car that I had on the right. See? It's gone. Put the Crab Rave on. But this A-type is here and it's never gonna despawn unless it is destroyed. And it is useful in all mission runs. You can block certain paths from certain cars. So now let me try and explain you how respect works. So as you can see, there are 3 gauges of respect here in the corner. In each district there are 3 gangs: Yakuza, Zaibatsu, Luni. In 1st district, SRS, Rednecks and Zaibatsu in 2nd, and Russian Mafia, Krishna and Zaibatsu in 3rd district. So how the respect works: to raise respect for Yakuza, you need to kill Zaibatsu; to raise respect for Zaibatsu, you need to kill Lunis; and for raise respect for Lunis, you need to kill Yakuza. I think it goes the same way in every single district, but you just better memorize it without looking at the counter, or it will be confusing. So essentially, in second district, it will be you kill. I mean, you can figure it out on your own. Doesn't really matter. So there are 3 types of missions: green, yellow, and red. You only can start red ones if you have 5 respect or more. You can start green if you have at least 1 and not less. And yellow, obviously 3 and more. So you can earn the respect by completing missions or killing gang members. When you can kill a gang member, it's these guys, like these with weapons, these without weapons. The only difference is when I shoot, these ones will get scared. But they're still gang members if they have the outfit. So if you shoot the gang members, you will need roughly 7 times less kills than if you drive them with a car. So, for example, if I shoot 3 of them, let me kill 3 of them. I should be at -20. There's like an internal counter, which is like -21 is when you lose 1 point. So if I kill 1 more, I'll lose Yakuza respect. Here, just happened. And I gained Looney respect. So now, if I kill 3 more, so what's 1, 2, come on, 1 more, we'll gain another respect. Stealing cars will also give you respect, or like drop it down. Oh, it's 4. Alright, I was a bit misleading there. Yeah, it's 4 kills for every respect level. But if you try running them over with a car, it will take a lot longer to actually lose that respect or gain. Because the car kills have roughly 4 times or like 3 times less value in terms of respect. I can go through this area, just quite heavily populated. As you can see, I still haven't gotten respect. Here I've been going up and down. If I remember correctly, the math goes, you need 21 point, like change respect. Killing someone gives you like 7. Driving over someone only loses and gives you 1. So essentially, you need 20 kills, roughly 20 kills, to lose 1 respect level. So, for example, in Zaibatsu area, or like in this area, if you're driving over Krishna, Yakuza, you will be losing their respect, but very slowly. But the number that you have to run over is like very high, so generally you shouldn't be worried. But yeah, just know that when you shoot gang members, you lose and gain respect much faster than when you drive them over. There is a thing about all mission runs specifically that you won't know. As you can see, every single gang has 7 missions, but the final screen says total jobs passed 22. It's because after you complete every single gang, you will get what's called final job. It's a special mission where 3 gang leaders spawn and you have to kill them. Be extra careful with how you do these missions in every single district. Watch. Well, in downtown it's pretty harmless because you just get into a car and it's hard to die there then. But in residential and industrial, there's a rocket launcher guy who can blow up your car. So you want like invulnerability power-ups generally. You can look up where to get those because there is a bit of a delay before the mission starts. But yeah, if you fail this mission, you can't restart it, so be sure to play it carefully or know exactly what you're doing. So another thing, but that's more about 100% runs, or if you're gonna be doing something like all kill frenzies, which isn't yet a category, but it might show up on leaderboards eventually. There are 20 kill frenzies in every single district. Here they are. And if you fail one, you can't restart it, and it doesn't go towards your completion count. So, unlike GTA 1, for example, where you just need to start frenzies and then you're good to go. So if a frenzy if you're doing Frenzies, just be sure to know the setups. There is a good video which showcases every single setup for every single Frenzy made by Molotov. I will link it in the description. I will also link the video where you can see how to collect every single token, for example, for all tokens or the set 100% run. Now let's talk about game versions a bit more. So there is 9.6, which you can get from Rockstar website. It's 9.6F in fact. If you go to the exe file and go into properties, it says it's somewhere around there. But there's also 1144. That is like the most casual friendly version there is. It's extremely hard to get 100% run on that version because it fixes Wang Car Glitch, which I also might showcase you a bit later. And there is also 9.6 CD version. It has a bit of a different menu. You can get this version from GTA Speedrunning Discord. It's been linked there by Molotov. Since this game has been released for free, I think it should be okay to technically use the version. The biggest advantage of 9.6 CD is that you can use the fly glitch. So let me show you the fly glitch, how the fly glitch works on 9.6F and 1144. What you would need for flight glitch in 9.6 and 1144 is Molotovs and let's say Flamethrower. So let's get both. Let's get somewhere where there are no cops. And this is a good enough place. So how you want to be doing it is you want to jump off the ramp of some kind and then start tapping. It's the basic Molotov glitch. You want like hug a wall and then let it go and you will jump like that. That glitch works on all versions. So just want to keep tapping the attack button while having Molotovs or grenades equipped. And you can go up the platforms that you shouldn't be able to go. It's like weird teleport glitch. It is helpful in probably few spots, not very useful overall, but you can get height in certain places. Now there is a bit more interesting thing. You can actually keep your height at the level where it is, but for that, in this version that I'm using right now, if I jump and start tapping, I'll fall, as you can see. Let me try not to die and showcase you what would happen if I actually had the Flamethrower. So let's deplete our Flamethrower for the showcase purposes. I mean, you would need to deplete it. Basically what you want to do in 9.6F or 1144 is you want to stand on the edge of like a platform. As you can see, it's a platform. Deplete your... you need to be sure that next weapon after Flamethrower is grenades. If there is something else like shotgun, you need to be depleting shotgun. I don't think it also works with every single weapon, but like technically shotgun and Flamethrower is what you should be worrying about. But shotgun is way harder to lose ammo for. So once you run out of ammo, you're gonna get stuck in animation. Let's watch. So when this happens, you just keep holding attack button, and you press jump, and you go. Now they can't bust me because I'm above them. As you can see, they're trying to find the way to get to me. I'm actually on this platform. Can keep going. Can get on this platform. If I let it go, the glitch is gone. And now on this version there is no other way to set it up. So if I want to do it again, I need to find another Flamethrower, deplete it, and then reproduce the glitch. Or same goes with the shotgun. What can you do on 9.6 CD? Even though it doesn't say it here, it is a different version. You can see the menu is different. There is 5 languages. You can do a different thing here. The glitch is sort of way friendlier to you than it is on the other versions, which is quite nice. And for a few runs, well, mostly all missions, it is extremely useful. So if you're doing all mission runs of either 2nd or 3rd district, I would highly recommend you getting this version. This is like the only upside of having this version, but it's so much worth it. Let me just go to the same area. All you need is Molotovs this time. That's all you want to do. Let's just start from here. You just want to jump and start tapping attack button. If you let go, you will jump and you will drop. But you can glitch this animation on any point. You can start going up the ramp and then just keep going, so you don't need any specific setups. If you accidentally dropped it but you haven't lost your height, just keep going from where you are. Of course, if you'll fall on the ground, not much you can do. You will still like go down the slopes. You'll jump over cars. But once you get off the ledge, you will keep that height. That is the only big difference between game versions. And unless you're running all missions or Hundo, I won't really tell you to get this version. For Hundo it's more difficult, so as I was talking about kill frenzies, in 2nd and 3rd district there is such a thing as trailer kill frenzy. There are cars which you can like unload, and they contain kill frenzy. So the thing is, with 9.6 and 9.6F, or if you manage to get 10.5 or whatever that version is called, it's like a very rare game version, like Rockstar patched, you would have, if you do the car frenzy, if you do it and finish it, once you save, I mean, if you just moved it and started the frenzy, I don't think you have to complete it, but I'm not sure. Maybe you have to actually complete it successfully. If you save and then you will try to load, your game will crash like all the time. So for 100% runs, you either want to do the car frenzies after your last save, so essentially before finishing the district, or you want to use 1144, which is a community patch version which you can just Google and find. But that version doesn't have the easy Molotov jumps. So you gotta find the sweet spot for what you want to do more. Lose your runs to absolutely RNG god awful car frenzies, or being able to jump in a couple places, which you can still make with Flamethrower and Shotgun. And the other thing that I kinda didn't showcase, but it's not really important, is Wang Car Glitch. It's specific for 2nd district, and well, I might just showcase it for the sake of it. Wang Car Glitch is something that is very important for 100% runs. It used to be important for any percent run, but as of right now, the only run where it is actually useful is 100% for residential district. So Wang Cars is the mechanic that is unique for residential district. It isn't featured anywhere else. So let us collect, let's say, this car. There we go. So now we had a car collected, and if we restart the district, it will respawn, and if we collect it again, we will get money for Wang Car bonus. Normally, the way you get Wang Car bonus is by collecting all 8 cars that are thrown all around residential. But what you can actually do is collect any. Well, there are 2 ways to trigger district. Either collect the same car twice by restarting district, or just collect any 8 cars in general, and then any single car will give you Wang Car bonus. On version 1144, it is fixed. The glitch doesn't work, so you will only get Wang Car bonus once you collect all 8 cars, and no other instances of it triggering will work for you. So it is insanely important for 100% run, because you can, first of all, you will need those cars that you get for the bonus. You don't need money. Money are relevant there. But the cars are really important, and you will need like as much of them as you can. So basically by setting up the full Wang Car glitch and restarting district, every single car will spawn the set of cars and also give you money. But as I said, money is irrelevant. So let me get some money and restart the district, and I'll just fast forward to when I'm restarting the district now. So now we have money to save. Let's do that. Let's restart the district, resume save status. Just find any card that doesn't suck completely, so that we can actually make the jump to the only card that we collected. You can learn the location of every single car very easily by just watching all Wang Cars speedrun and trying to follow it. It's a very easy run, I recommend learning it. Oops. Well, isn't the best car for that. So the Z-type, yeah. Let me redo the jump. What will happen is when I collect this car, I should get Wang Car bonus. If you don't get Wang Car bonus in that case, it means you have version 1144 and the bug has been pretty much fixed. But here we go. We get money, we get the set of cars. Very useful set of cars. It has 2 police cars, the Land Rover and the Special Agent car. Oh, it also has tank, but tank is very hard to destroy. And 4 GTs with different power-ups. Another thing that I didn't mention previously is that in later GTAs, when you steal a car that has an alarm in it, and let's say you meet the cops, they will start chasing you because you stole a car, but it doesn't apply to GTA 2. If the car that you're stealing has a sound alarm, you can just freely ride it anywhere you want. Cops won't be bothered. We try to prove that by finding a cop. And there's a cop. He just doesn't give a crap. The only thing cops really care for is you stealing car in front of them, or you shooting in front of them. You can't gain wanted level by killing gang members, but you can do it by killing pets. But if you just shoot, they'll automatically aggro on you. Here's something that I want to try to show you. There are 2 cop cars, so maybe it will work. It's what I call the cop memes. So basically, on wanted level 1, the game really doesn't like having 2 cop cars. So if, for example, I'll get a wanted level 1 now, the cops will start entering and re-entering their car because there will be too many of them. Let's try and see if it works actually. Well, those 2 died, so they started moving. Sometimes what would happen is cops would aggro on you, but only 1 car will actually be exiting. The other one will just stay closed. You need to pay attention. It's really not possible to tell if you're getting trolled by 1 cop car or not. But sometimes it happens. Just try to react to it. if you get two cop cars, either try to jump in the car in a small time spot that you have while they're both entering and exiting the car, or just figure out which one is a troll cop, so-called troll cop. Normally troll cop is the one that is on street, and the actual cop, if actual cop arrives from wanted level, let's say you committed a crime, there was no cop around, but you got wanted level. If there will be a cop car driving by which was just normal on street spawn, and then later there will be another cop car which spawned because you committed crimes, most likely the car that was just a normal raw spawn will stay closed and won't even react to you. It will have the signals on, but the guys won't try exiting the car. So you should just go for the one which drives directly at you, and the one that just follows the road is just a normal traffic cop car. It will react to you once you get into the other cop car, however. So that right here was a prison jump. This is a very important trick for residential no EE glitch, because what you want to be doing here is farming prisoners. Um, that one will probably take a lot of practice to get first try, but it's a rather short run as well. So what's the deal with prisoners? Prisoners as a gang members don't raise your wanted level when you kill them, and there is also a heck ton of them here spawning. So let's say I'm gonna be moving forward, need only 3 honks to spawn a bunch of pedestrians, which will be enough for expeditious execution. Try not to kill anyone near the place where you start moving from. You can also go for so-called double E by getting way more pets or prisoners, whatever you call them. Let me try getting it. It's rather hard to make it in this spot. Absolutely not impossible, but not likely to happen. But yeah, you would need 40 pets. I think I never explained how EE works. Basically for EE you need to kill 20 people almost simultaneously. So if there is any place where you want to be doing that, it's like the massive spawns. And as little time as you can waste for respraying, the better. So here, this is pretty much the perfect spot for farming EEs in residential district. So you'd have to learn prison jump for that. It's pretty precise and annoying, but not all that terrible, so you will get gist of it after a couple attempts. Please note that GTA 2 is a very crash heavy game, so whenever you're doing like longer runs, if you're doing short runs it probably doesn't matter. If you're doing full game 80%, which is like a 5-minute run, all you want to do is not care for that. Your game sometimes will crash and you will feel bad, but maybe you can just restart your game every now and then. Doing longer runs, there are actually specific spots at which the game will crash for you, and you kind of will learn them by trial and error. I guess I can make videos on that on some spot, but there is like one thing you'd never want to do is you never want to fire Flamethrower while entering the car, as this will 100% crash your game. Let me try to find a Flamethrower and showcase it to you. So here we have a Flamethrower. So that's just a general thing that you should never do. If you hold an attack button with Flamethrower and then you enter the car, the game will crash. All the time on every single game version, it will crash. It's a bug that was never fixed, even in community patch version. So yeah, that should be covering pretty much all the main things you should know about the speedrunning of GTA 2. The rest is just learning the routes. If you want to learn 100% runs, I would heavily recommend first of all learning all missions, or just watching any of 100% runs. There is a lot of depth into those runs. You can probably still come up with your own 100% run, which would be more optimal than anything here. For all missions, all you're gonna go here. There is routes for residential, for downtown, for industrial. There is a proper definition of 100%. Yeah, you can ask your questions on the forum. Basically, we'll answer you. About useful resources, there is an auto splitter for life split in the works with 9.6f, so basically the version from Rockstar website, and 1144. I'm not entirely sure what GTA check is. I'm not sure if you need to install it. This is a cycle counter. This is a thing you have to install. Oh no, it's not. It's power patch that you have to install. I'm sorry. And GTA 2 radar is the very useful app, but it doesn't work with any versions but these two. So yeah, if you will have any more questions, maybe about some mechanics that I haven't explained, or you don't understand some parts of route, you can probably leave the questions in the comments. I will try to answer them and maybe make another short video combining most of an interesting things eventually. What I've been thinking about is going through all mission routes and explaining what the hell's going on there and how you do these. But if you generally good at driving and you can follow the simple lines of text, you should be able to do it properly. Just refer to the latest routing. For starters, I would recommend you going into all Wang cars and doing this category. This is a bit of a random run. It's very hard to explain, just watch a couple of videos and then learn the position. Basically, you have to collect 8 cars. This is a good way to learn how to drive, how to steal cop cars, and basically be efficient with your time on foot. Even though it's annoying, like getting something sub 4 is a very good time, but if you can get something like sub 6, you can probably move on with your life to something more interesting than this. But yeah, hopefully it covers most of the questions that you could have had. Hopefully this was helpful and not too annoying. But yeah, it's not a very hard game. It's very underrated. It has some really good categories. Like I would heavily recommend you learning all missions, as this is the most fun run to run. It's not as RNG as 100%. It's not as stressful as 100%. It's not as reset heavy as any percent. It's not as repetitive as any percent no EE glitch. But yeah, hope you enjoyed watching. If you enjoyed, please leave the like, maybe share a video, and leave the comments down below. That was the Zero. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.